This is game 6 right now. Second place already gone. We're in blue here with first place of Stormy Right, Curiosity, and Tooth. Their strength has just been, like I mentioned, the word is consistency. They've just been around, been in the top of the end game. They don't go for height. If they're at height, if they get contested, they lose, they drop down quickly. They don't try to expand. They don't try to crank or build fights. They're very intelligent when it comes to in game, and I just feel like really this is just maybe it might be the masterpiece, the renaissance for Kiriachi, man, and Stormy Right and Toos. This Russian trio has always been in the running. They've been like a mid-card trio, but now they might be stepping up for that heavyweight fight and being the main marquee trio for the EU region.
I mean, they're definitely extending their lead, first place by 10 points right now. Not separating their position, though, from everyone else. Everyone is kind of tied towards this left side near caddy corner. They have a crescent moon of trios just waiting for the sun to rise, going towards the next portion of the zone. Look at Egram not being aggressive, not even looking for shots. How uncharacteristic is that? Sean VP, the one being bullied and not surviving the clutch. Things are changing now towards these back half of games. Amplify 80 and Matzo, they're activated.
Oh,
they
man.
moved with, Andy before, and both teams survived. This time, one did not. So people are definitely employing different strategies to get out of these mid-game positions. At the same time, everyone's kind of just stuck side by side.
Very stuck here because of these kind of positions that everyone's kind of jockeying for on these mountaintops, and the zone is pushing off where Matzo is. And look at this, everybody's on the left side. Again, there's something about the left, but everyone's got to pick up their left foot and slide to the right for this moment here. Squeeze and Fortnite and Alex, who have been wounded throughout the entire time. We got some sand under their toes, and once you go to the beach and you don't take a shower, you got sand in all these weird crevices, and as Squeeze and Fortnite, they're going to be irritated as they're making their way through here. But hey, they got a really strong position, but I'm just concerned the resources have been dipped into, the heals have been dipped into, and now as Squeeze has been double dipped and eliminated, Forciar and Alex have to roll as a duo.
This is so tricky, especially with this zone. We're going to Shipwreck Cove. I mean, I haven't seen a zone like this since last season's game number 1. It gets crazy. Anything can happen, and these guys have to move free on an entire mountain. Is there a person to sight there? Yes. Endless doesn't even see his speed. He's not even considering it. He's going for revenge on the Eliminator. He's moving out in the open. Everyone's spaced up side by side, skiing down this mountain. This is crazy. Finally catches up to 4ZR. How is that possible?
Man, it is that extreme sports lifestyle. You're going to the beach and you're surfing, and now you're back up to the mountaintops and you're skiing and snowboarding, and sometimes that little snowball, it kind of careens down into avalanche. 4 HP does get elimination there. He's gonna have to hold on. 4ZR and Andalix, a very historic duo here, is still on their feet in the snow. Zone 5 is gonna be revealed, Shy.
Okay, and it is going to be an avalanche that's going to come through. All these trios have to move off from one side of the mountain. It might be like an anti-gravity avalanche to go all the way to the other side of the mountain too.
They can't do this.
And then that's a rise again, the trickiest zone in Fortnite's history. I feel like this is going to be crazy for people to move across.
All it takes is a couple of beams and Alex is gone. Queasy is still in this fight, gets an elimination on Red Rush, but we're watching right here. This is one of the most decorated EU teams in the region. This French trio who made the French shift. They changed it up. They were able to qualify with new teammates, newly formed. And look at this. In about a minute, we will see if they were able to survive. As you mentioned, one of the most dangerous, treacherous rotations we may ever see. Here we go.
I saw Sapphic just make a very sneaky push from the bottom. They're electing to go to the base of the mountain. Andalex, though, he's moving all the way up on the top right of your screen. 4 HP, can't make a single mistake. Half-had up in the air. 3 AR shots will take him out, but no one's looking. Everyone has to be focusing on this position. It's such a tricky zone. Finally, some pressure comes in, but they stabilize. Meanwhile, down towards the dirt, Exterios Mappy Red Rush, they don't want to take to the skies. They got their own plans to stay ahead and alive.
But what is such a risky position to be down there? Look at that. Even Boopback is way down there. Boopback is beyond the dirt. He's 6 feet under. He may find himself and dig himself into the lobby at that point. Falconly and ZQ Kazakh. Oh my goodness. What happened? An earthquake happens. It brings down everything, and it was an edit down chop. Kazakh survives, though. He survives the natural disaster that just unfolded there, and Queasy may have been the culprit of that edit down chop.
Oh my God, I've never seen Kazakh panic that hard.
Dude, I panicked.
Down, but walls and floors everywhere. We're panicking too. They're back up the height though. That cost them a lot. Kazakhs,
it did.
171 mats now, and it's only wood.
Oh my goodness. It's coming down to it. This is one of those chaotic in games that we always love to see and love to cast, but no one loves to play. But no one loves to play because it's going to get messy. Here we are. Deceptos Loki's commit there on the low ground, but not heading down now. Hey, Tayson, Vino, and Reason, they're in the mid ground. Punchers are there on their door, and let's save it. Save it is alive here. Save is going to try to find his way back to glory, and meanwhile, our defending FNCS champions are second from height.
Everyone on every single layer has to be very careful. We're going back up straight over the mountain across flat land, but the zone could pull back at any moment. You have to be very careful with how many materials you use, which pads you're putting down, what your whole game plan is. And while you're trying to concentrate, anyone can break into your box, cause a lot of pressure, chaos in your mind. You might not think. You waste even a second. You might slip, fall off of this crazy zone and mountain straight down to your demise. There's a big shot from Save. It cannot keep it contained. Right there, a second of distraction. Invasion in the box. He's gone, he's out.
And what I noticed in day one is Jerky, Queasy, and Trulix, if they cleaned up a couple of things, they would be able to hold on to high. They had high multiple times here on the first moving zones, but then they lost it to these corporates right here. But it's not going to happen here because Aqua is in shambles, and now he's going to do all that he can to get those placement points.
Yeah, even the high ground warlords are suffering with this zone. Aqua as a solo trying to make things happen. Missed shot on the walk-up, but he got a big finish on the splash. 100 damage, 33 on the elo cracks. He's still getting points, even if he's not working height or in the circle. The zone is still so far away. Bullied, held back in boxes. He gets in. He's living. He's alive.
Aqua with the two-piece right here. The GOAT is still alive on his feet, still rocking it now. He's on a layer. He almost caught another body, but he just whiffs the shot. He's here to fight and out of build and out of this match.
Reason though, he's fighting with Tayson, takes out Sapik as they're moving on to their mid-ground layer. Below, it's just a mess. Tripper and the last one left. He gets taken out. He's gone, and now Exterios and Mappy as a duo still control everything going down below. The lobby is gonna get squeezed up. There's another hill, a mountain in the way. Kylie once again is another player surviving from that last game here to this one. The same patterns navigating the zone. Look at everyone else though. They're trapped. They have to get by not only the entire server, but the space as well. Reason deleted. Trulix, Jerky, Queasy. They're bringing that FNCS champion vibe right back this season.
They're rocking that Axe of Champions in their spirit and in their minds here. They're trying to defend the crown. But Pink Nebs, who's had a great day one here, are trying to regain their footing here in day two on the front side of the zone. It's champion versus champion. Asian versus EU. And EU claps out Asia again. Force with it, trying to regain it. It's another Axe of Champion running around as well. We have 4 Axe of Champions, but here it is. Trulix, Jerky, and Queasy here, finally finding their form here in day two, going up against the contender from day one. Nebs, Pink, and Stompy working as a duo.
It'll be the 4th mountain they're on, a possibility of a res all the way down below, but the timing might not be there. They're sticking it. Nebs is going for it. Chuck Splash Cannon to keep his HP from the zone alive. Is he up? He's up. Now it's a 3v3, but there's no Master Stompy. He used them all to actually defend.
What?
Easy. Big shots taken on height. The slide pump lands again. The retake. It's coming through from Stompy.
No,
Another on the Queasy. No way.
No.
They're doing it.
No way.
Is down.
No way.
On the right.
No way.
Stompy
No way.
in.
No way. No way.
Wins out the game. Single-handedly getting all 3 players, Pink, Nebs, and Stompy, do the impossible.
No way! No way! I have no words, bro. No words. No words, child.
I don't even want to attempt to think about anything else. Sneak, please, take it away.
I thought that I've seen it all. I thought that this was just going to be another normal day of Fortnite. I thought this was going to be the normal finals. Apparently, everyone decided they were going to go absolutely hamburgers for no reason. Stompy, this was the craziest clutch of all time. What are you doing, brother? Oh my gosh. The composure needed to pull something off like that. The comeback from recovery, the moment to even pick your teammate up. I mean, oh my goodness, dude. This was next level, bro.
Oh my god! Look, Queasy, Tulips, and Drake. It's an absolute travesty. It is absolutely shocking. You know, you can. There's so many words you can use: stinker, howler, nightmare. It's everything that could possibly go wrong and worse. Like, you don't lose that. Like, we know Stompy's great. He's one of the all-time greats of EU. You know, back in the World Cup days, he was dominating the LAN. But he just whipped out his old form right there. That was not even real. That shouldn't have happened, right? If you don't know what just happened, that shouldn't have happened. Nobody should win that if you're in Stompy's position. You shouldn't.
Yeah, but he did, and he hit the shots. He's showing why. Throughout the World Cup qualifiers, he was the most dominant player. Throughout Season 8, he became the champion. Zeke's still lost in the sauce. He still can't believe it as we say that. And, you know, a lot of people throughout a lot of the previous FNCSs have not put the respect on Stompy's name. But Stompy, alongside Nebs, to pick up the res onto Pink, like, huge big brain play, because that also saved one bullet, right? That hit the shot from, I think it was Queasy, to knock down, which allowed Stompy to be able to win it. Huge, incredible play.
Oh my gosh, these teams, they know what's at stake, man. They want the Axe of Champions. They want to win it all. Oh my goodness. We got to talk about some other stuff with Malibuca happening here earlier on in the game. I'm still shaking. Take it away, Love. Take it away.
Look, I just wanted to show people the duality of Fortnite, right? Because you know, we take a look at the game before this when Mr. Savage, you know, they have that amazing win. Everything's going rosy. You think to yourself, oh wow, they contested that steamy, but it's still going great. They've now won 2 games out of 5. Everything's absolutely amazing. But then you get them coming in, landing at steamy the game after, you know, on this massive high, and they get walked through. Malibuca takes out Ref's guard. No real hope there. And Reese, this is one of the big problems that, you know, these teams will have while contested. We talked about the Asian winners who, you know, won FNCS, contested 10 out of 10 times, or 10 out of 12 times, sorry. You know, Mr. Savage and them, they're not going to be able to do this, like, every game. At some point, you just have to think it's not worth it anymore.
No, I know you got to think so, but there's no other options. Reality. Where else are they going to go? Anywhere else they go? They're contested at the same drop, so they might as well keep going where they're being successful. They were in 2nd, and now they've dropped down till 7th for Falcon, Refsguard, along with Andrea and Mr. Savage 2 now. So that's 5 placements down just by losing off spawn, which is tough. But with the huge clutch, with the huge victory royale from Pink, Nebs, and Stompy, that's pushed them all the way up into 1st place currently. 2 victory rounds to their name, and I want to watch more. I have to see more from this team.
Honestly, I did not come into this weekend expecting to see what we've seen from these 3 players. That clutch from Stompy is going to go down in the history books. That is absolutely unreal. And like you say, Risa, I'm so eager to see now. You know, they've clearly got the hot hand, and everything they do, they're doing so many things right. And look, it's not perfect, right? It's not perfection. There are mistakes being made here and there, but they just have that sort of rhythm and flow right now where they are able to just account for any mistake. And you have Stompy, you know, hitting 1v3s. Like, you can't bank on that. You can't guarantee that every game. But boy, that is just absolutely nuts. You can see the players here now from 11 to 20. They'll all be watching that thinking, well, look, if they're going to be playing like that, we ain't got a chance. Like, how are we supposed to stop him? You know, if we're going to get into 3v1s and he's still going to win, what are we supposed to do about that? Nevertheless, there are so many games left, but wow, what a performance.
Yeah, and I think a notable thing to add there is that Queasy's team is now in 18th place after that. That looked like a game, like you mentioned, let's be real. They should have won that. They should have picked up the victory royale in the final game, but they ended up 2nd. That would have been 2 additional eliminations to 4 points and another 5 points. So that would have another 9 points to them, which would have put them up, I think, 6 slots up in the leaderboard alone. So that choke from them could be disastrous for the rest of the leaderboard. They seem to be playing absolutely on form today, but that final little closing out the game, but you know,
that's just the confidence, just absolutely destroyer, you know, and they'll be arguing, you know, we
sure.
You get frustrated at your teammates sometimes, right? You know, they will be so frustrated with each other how they've allowed that to happen, and hopefully it doesn't completely offset their mental going forward, because there are 6 games or so left, right? There's so many games that you can't afford to sort of switch off now, but I don't know how they recover from that one. If me and Reese, if that happened and you were the one that allowed, you know, Stompy to clutch like that, I'm removing you as a friend. We're not playing ever again.
You get blocked on Twitter, don't worry.
Yeah, you're finished, you're done, you know, so
Well, guys, you heard the buzz, which means we have to go back in the game. I still have to recover from that. Remember, we've got another 6 games ahead of us because we began with 8. So buckle up. We have more action like this up ahead of us. Sancho, Shayo, back to you guys.
Thank you so much, Zeke. And we're trying to recover myself. I mean, trying to check my heart rate here. We're about to get into the throes of Game 7. Shayo, talk about a highlight show that FNCS is putting on here for day 2.
I'm trying to recover, brain-wise. I don't remember any of the other games at all, except for that one. The clutch from Stompy. And remember what they did off spawn, Sancho. They defended, they waited, they stayed alive. They have to again. We cannot miss this team in another endgame.
They got a bunker down here. You cannot follow up with your backs that just don't bop anymore. Kha'Zix gets bopped, and Falconly now is gonna get a trade right there, but nice Stompy baiting that out there, letting the teammate kind of take the brunt of that force here, and that just may be enough. Oh, nicely done. Wow, Stompy, okay, you're on one now, man. I looked on Twitter just to say, oh, he's on one. They took that. Remember they got pickaxed? You remember that's how we started this broadcast? They got pickaxed, and all of a sudden they're on this new form, reaching new heights. Savage, Revsguard, they're gonna win this Steamy Stocks engagement. But man, my brain is like fried. It's frozen in time. He's frozen in time.
Everyone's back now. Savage winning his fight. Stompy actually going for the aggressive play and winning. The confidence is here. No one's actually, trying to do these weird trades, stay back a little bit, play for info. They're really capitalizing on any opening that they can. Making up also getting clicked up or, completely just clipped. Akumu, it looks like, all the way at Retail Row as well. Benji winning against Exterios. All the patterns we were watching yesterday from the fan favorite teams, the matchups that, a few analysts were predicting would go a certain way, they are going that way now. I mean, it looks like the entire server's back on form.
Yeah, back in the form. I agree with you on that. Day 1, this is what was happening, and it just shows you right there. I mean, Queasy, I think Queasy, like I mentioned in day 1, the pattern that we were talking about from them, Shayo, as you mentioned, that is that they were still in game. They were there taking height. That zone was really difficult. They had it. And normally, I would say 90% of the time, maybe 99% of the time, you don't lose that kind of advantage when you have height, and considering that the low ground was plumb out of mats here. Now Mappy's in trouble here. He's going to feel the pressure from the rest of Joe, Shadow, and Benji. And now we're going back to Force and Siberia Savitor, who have turned around their fortunes here in day 2. But it looks like this is not going to be very fortunate here outside of Retail Row.
Yeah, Trixie, Jaggy, they love to just find teams on rotation or just finishing fights, dive in and pick them up, clean them up. That was their style on day 1. We've kind of missed it, or they've been stopped multiple times, swatted like flies. On day number 2, looks like this time gonna pack a little bit more of a sting all throughout for Forces. His Chug Club Splash charges are completely down. Jaggy tends they might just back off here. They might just want to go for the damage totally, and yeah, that's a lot, about 300 to 400 damage across all 3 players from there. Very good from Trixie. A nice push. They'll back the whole way away.
It makes me laugh because all you hear is just the car going, and they're just out, right? They just came on through, did what they had to do, and they're rolling out. And Red Rush is rolling out. And this is going to be one of those games, Red Rush, you just got to do what you can. Hold. He does have Mysterios' card. And that's what I learned in NA West. When you have that black bar right there, that means you do have a card there to go. So he has one of those cards so far. And now we're taking a look at Kirachi, which it feels like people will remember Stompy's play the most, but Kirachi right here, it's going to be one thing, and this is what I'm talking about. I'm finally seeing it. Savid was skirting by in day 1, no problem. We're living fine. Now,
big drop, needs more power, more guarantee of surge damage all the way off of spawn. So yeah, Rifle Savid, so they're getting kind of bullied too. So the big edits, blocks one shot, edits, hits another. Huge. The speed from there is insane. And boom, that's it. Not a single person getting fully eliminated. Yeah, Toos got knocked at the very end, but a very good bait for Stormy and Kiriachi to make that pinch possible.
And if I saw that on VODs, Kiriachi definitely saw that as well. Every time you see that, you look at that battle map, you're seeing their tracking, you instantly see that Savid constantly goes all the way down to that dish, rotates through Shantytown, and it's just uninhibited, just easy free. Now he has to pay the toll, and that toll ultimately cost him here in Game 7.
Almost out a few, but there's so many more games to go throughout this day. Benji, Joe, Shadow, they're going to be alive off spawn for now. Mid game is their kind of tricky spot, getting out of Corny Complex, outside the POI and moving on towards the end game. That was tough. Stompy though, yeah, all the way from Season X to now, man is no stranger to winnings. 8 different games he's won in EU. He holds that record, rightfully so too. I mean, if you've seen the style of play, the zones that he's very good at, and are these mountain zones, like that was very reminiscent of the clutches he had with Chinkin and Aqua all the way back in Season X and previous seasons as well. And he's only on a 2 for the day now. I think Savage's trio is the only one with that 2, and they're in first place off of that game too. So that's just absolutely phenomenal.
People are forgetting that Chapter 1 map had huge mountains. There was a lot of them everywhere. Pleasant Park had like a whole ring of mountains. You're going down towards Tilted Towers, they had their own little ring of mountains. You go to Salty Springs, they had that huge mountain. And then just a little bit dead in the middle, dead center, they have another mountain right there. I could go on and on forever. I mean, we're talking about the glory days. You remember those broken houses right then and there, like south of Loot Lake? That was another huge mountain that Chapter 1 had. But yes, Aqua and Sampi and Chinkin, like you mentioned from Season X, are the champions. But there's so many champions in this lobby, man. So many.
It's been a while, right? Everyone's kind of had their shot at the throne. Some people have called it home for longer. Some are still defending it to this day or trying to even take it back from just a few seasons ago. Lots looking for a double up for second run at the title.
I was going to say here, I'm taking a look as we're getting a taste of the first zone. We're seeing Benji. They were able to confirm Joe. They eliminated Joe. And I'm sorry. Red Rush got confirmed by Joe. There you go.
I was wondering.
I told you,
that team.
my brain is still frozen by Stompy. So also as well as Falcon Lee, his trio has been eliminated. Malibu has been eliminated. Sai has been eliminated. And then you have Karmi has been eliminated. And Wings and Karmi, day one, they were doing really good, man. I love their aggression into Pleasant Park. They were pushing Coral Castle, but so far their day 2, not so great considering that they're now sliding out of the top 10.
Yeah, you're talking about, the difference from day 1 and 2. Look at the trios on board right now. Fast Roki, Void, and Karma also had trouble on this day compared to the first. They're going with different tactics now. It's being quiet, looking for a shot here against Toos, the trio that's really good at affecting many later on in the game. If they take out these guys right here, if they even have a little bit of damage to interrupt their loop path, it'll be trouble. But Toos senses something.
Yeah, he's
heard a footstep.
I heard something.
The awareness is just there. Kriachi will come up and see if he's okay. He'll base up a little bit, and now they hear Void. Void hears the Bills, understands that they're playing a little bit of defense. They might just force this fight.
It basically heard like a branch, like a stick break. Just like that. It's like now it's on high alert, and they're going to go ahead and build up this base and bunker down here. And I think, you don't want a piece of that. You just know that's going to be one of those fights drawn out. Hey, man, sometimes fast food is not good for your diet. I just got to let you know. I got to let you know that dirt burger ain't worth it. And as juicy as it is, it ain't worth it.
Now, Fast Roki just looking somewhere else now. No, it's a lesson in villainy. One of the rules is that you have to be careful not to make a sound. And if a branch does snap, who knows, you fall down in a pitfall. You get in a little bit of trouble. That's just what happens there to them. It just feels like Fast Roki's always looking to be the counter to a different trio or to play, in the shadows of someone else's power. It's not really finding that type of success today. Same thing with Hydro Zest and Backfeed. Always looking to cause a little bit of ruckus, but not be the main target for a lot of fights. And since everyone is playing so passive, so separated right now at this portion of the game, they're having a little bit of trouble also getting elims. When we were watching in day number 1, they had 1 or 2, or they were really influencing, people behind the scenes. They kind of seem like the hidden overlords of the mid game. Right now, they're just kind of a lot quieter.
And definitely they were puppet mastering everybody right there. It's like, there's regulators in this world and there's instigators, and definitely they are instigators. And you see that retreat from Fast Roki there. They go right into another trio, and that's Toasty out there in Weeping Woods. So, hey, they didn't get a dirt burger there, but they do get to eat. And they get that maximum Storm Surge with that sniper shot. And Fast Roki is going to get credit for that elimination there. But as you're seeing, 6 trios are already out of this match here. And it's just so interesting. I feel like that previous game kind of felt like a throwaway game. It kind of like, there's a lot of weird things that was happening because we have the extra 2 games to work with. And I felt like a lot of people were trying new things. And so it's interesting to see where people go after this. Again, never historically done before. 8 games in day 2.
I feel like that game was more so less throwaway, a little bit more PTSD, forcing people to try things. As soon as you see a potential for a mountain zone, you want to get ahead of it, right? You want to be there as fast as possible. That's why the map seemed a little bit empty. And yeah, a lot of top teams fell off spawn. Void actually ends up going down here. Calmer, Fast, Roki in trouble. We'll come back to that in just a sec because these elims for default, Sapphic, Putric, they could be huge.
Absolutely huge, not only for their leaderboards, but for this match as well. Look at that. Very aggressive rotation coming all the way from Dirty Docks. They're picking up the pace. I talked about their woes in the semifinals, and they seem to get them better in day one, and now they're getting really solid here in day two. You're going to be able to try to pick up the pieces when it comes to Karma and Fesroki.
I'll go back to talking about, though, the differences from last game and how cheers are playing and now. I feel like, going towards the left side compared to the mountains, everyone kind of has that normal game plan. You know, the feels of what to do, everyone kind of has a little bit of space on both sides of the Venn diagram for this zone on how to play.
I think it's what those mountains are very tempting. You aggro those mountains, those placements. You understand that once it goes around the mountains and up and over, you got to go all the way to height as the Swedes gets a knock against Rotary. And I agree with you. Once the mountains are there, it kind of throws everything out the window. Your game plan you have is just as you go automatically to DEFCON 5. It's like, all right, mountain zone, we know exactly where we need to go. Yeah,
this time, though, it's not going to be a big presidential threat on every single trio in the lobby. They'll have a lot of room to play, a lot of chances to get information too. Kuriachi with his high base can identify all the different threats around him and sense that Kylie with these beamings on trees is looking for vantage points as well. What a nice shot too, that big UFO looming in the distance.
Yeah, the mothership. Oh yeah, I was just in awe right here, the rotation, the warp rotation that we saw here from Savage. Savage is literally on the other side of Kirachi. And Savage just came.
They move fast.
They move fast.
And think about it this way too. Kirachi started here, right?
That's what I'm saying.
And Savage is all the way in Steamy. And he has a better spot in this zone. But that might be also Sancho, right? Because Kirachi fought this game. They've never done that before. They kind of got into positions they haven't been in any game of the finals so far. And they might be a little bit off center with better loot.
That's interesting. We'll see how that kind of results. And last time they were just being consistent, playing for positioning, but now they decided to fight. I think they're feeling the pressure of the lobby. They understand that they need to get eliminations as well, so it could be that thing.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest difference for Kiriachi's team right now, they were first for like the last 3-4 games. This is the first game they're operating in second place. Bink, and after that big clutch, they've taken over.
And maybe they kind of poked the bear. I mean, Savid may take that personal and just try to go into these sludgy swamps. So they got to be careful here. You may get those 6 points there, but is those 6 points worth it for the long run? Because again, you have teams like Stompy putting on a show, and hey, Aqua's still there. Even though they were in shambles at that other end game, Aqua got some valuable eliminations, put us a couple points on the board, and got some great placements for his team.
Running back this time too. This is the most concerning thing for me. Seti, Kemi, Teak, historically one of the most consistent trios of the region, struggling with Surge once again.
Wow.
In terms of landing somewhere mid-map, kind of a little bit on an off vibe or off center in terms of getting positioning in this zone. They're always ahead is what I'm trying to say, and it just seems like they've been a step behind this entire finals. Looking to actually equalize though. They're pushing back. I think he's also suffering from Surge. So they need to land a pump before he gets taken out. 100 above now, it's enough for the moment. You'll watch that number go down so fast. 73 teams still in the lobby. This kind of feels like a fifth zone right now, but it's only the third.
Yeah, it's been happening the entire time, but pitchers are definitely, more pitchers describe 1,000 words, and this is what I'm saying. This is what's happening to them. Every time their rotation, they're surrounded by people who need Surge. So they get pushed and they're always on the defense. It's a two-sided coin for them, and it's not a good coin. Either they need Surge or they're surrounded by players that do need it, and they get pushed and aggro. So that's what's been costing them their run, and you're right here. That is why they're not doing well as expected.
They're always caught in some type of Surge black hole. So we'll have to try to get toward a different side of the galaxy, different side of...
Yes, I agree. Now, expert right now, oh man,
this is tough.
Rough.
Yeah, this man's completely in outer space. That's just rough. But the good thing is, Benji is the one to get that loot with Shadow and Joe. Very good pickup from Shadow there to actually know exactly where the solo is going to be trying to rotate, trying to escape. Andy Chashi, they were kind of in that situation before that we just saw Expert in. Down on Surge, just trying to survive. A rabbit just running in a forest. Anyone could really just pick that up. This time, they're looking really good. South side of the base, as soon as I say that, they both get taken out and knocked. Never mind.
Hey, it happens that fast here. But just to talk about Benji, Joe, and Shadow real quickly, they're making dead side rotations. That's what they're doing in day one, and that's what I mean. They're primed to make a decent run here in day two. Their dead side rotations were on point, and they were always at the end game. Now they're going to push their way clean closer to center. There they are on your bottom mini map. There are those blue triangles right on the edge of this here. But let's go back to Sapphic Patrick and default here. I thought they were able to move. This is something that's been happening in EU. They just go to the edge and stop. If they took the time and maybe get a little bit more center, look how free center is. If they could just keep moving and not stopping on the edge of the storm line.
I mean, the issue is in Weeping Woods, this forest, it's really hard to navigate. Lots of space. It's not that traversable. Low ground's kind of really weird. And so many people are set up on hills or trees or vantage points you can't even see. So as a result, Sapphic trying to deal with stuff in front of him. He gets pumped in the back while trying to rotate. This is just tough. Even with Peppers, I mean, I guess they're saving it for a different zone. It's costing them a lot right now, and no one can really push all the way towards the center. All the people who are coming from the outside in, they're stuck on zone line. The only people at the center of the zone right now are the people who started there.
This is it. It is about a minute until zone closes here. And where zone 5 goes, that's going to be huge considering Logjam has been in this entire time. So, you know, Kirachi has been vibing, and he did get some good Storm Surge to initially onset his hold there. The question is, will he have the beams as well? You've seen Jackie come out from Caddy Corner, their head position. You see Fasroki there, who's been all over looking for Storm Surge, only down to a duo. Now you have Cammy setting Teak now, and better pastures on their own tarp. And look, no neighboring people. So when it gets to that 50-man surge, I think they're going to be a lot better onset. But the question is, we already saw them on the borderline. They need to get tags right here. They need to be aggressive and open up those edits and make sure they get those beams.
Yeah, the win condition right now for Steady Cammy's just staying above Surge. If they survive, they can play so well all the way towards the end. They're always consistent. It should be below when the update comes in. They need to land a few shots here or there. Sancho, absolutely correct. The other big thing, too, with this zone, I mean, it'll happen in about 2 once we start moving, but so many teams, you mentioned it, like Kiriachis, have been sitting still. Even Steady Cammy Teak, they haven't moved around that much. Everyone has so many mats, and with trees kind of separating low ground and high ground, you can see it the whole way through. If this zone goes straight into the forest, there should be so many different fights for height. Kiriachi has so many mats left. Savage has barely even used any. All these bases have just been sat in the entire time. Everyone is waiting to be the king of this lobby.
Every time we drone over to Aqua, this Tayson is always at their feet. It's just always happening, and they're always jockeying for position. You have Nebs right there as well, kind of trying to assess you with those metal ramps. And of course, you have Kirachi, who's been on the high ground this entire moments here when moving into the end game. But Deal Aqua and Noah Riley are in 3rd place right now, really consistent.
Yeah, and you can see the battle between 2 big bases. Who's going to the high speed? Wow. Mistake from Vidil, but he has that medkit. He has the minis to get back. It's this trio and Kiriachis in the distance that have the highest bases at the same elevation.
Vidil has Fireflies, and you know he's going to be ready to use that so he can take that height if he needs to.
Yeah, he can set the force.
Oh, no!
But there's a trio here. Splash actually jumps up. Where was Aqua? What happened? Aqua's on the backside. Noah Riley distracted. The entire trio gets just completely fractured.
It was all of a sudden a flank from the backside there from Mawaka and Splash and Co. And they're able to take away this high ground advantage, but it doesn't matter. Zone 5 goes south here. But right now, our 3rd place team is in shambles, and they were already below Surge here. And this might be it. The swan song is over for them temporarily, but Splash and Mawaka and Koro put a huge wrench in those plans here. But all this structure here has to move and rotate, and they have to go down south, and that just means Kirachi has the advantage, but also Nebs as well, as you see, are now going to rotate around. I like what Benji, Joe, and Shadow are doing. Last time at this moment, they were start cranking up to height or like ramping up to height, but electing right now to stay on the ground, which Benji has a lot of experience being a low ground fighter.
Benji low ground is a very, very fun thing to watch. Nebs, Pink, and Stompy is honestly, though, the highlight of the day. They're not even at
highlight of the year.
That's actually up for contention. There have been some crazy plays. That there. One was nuts. No there. Mountain for them to climb, though. They're going to actually have to just stay on top of the entire server. First place is where Big Nebs and Stompy are. Kiriachi in 2nd. First on low, 2nd all the way on height, and 3rd we just saw fall. So it'll be a battle of 2 Titan trios looking to take that lead.
I spy with my little eye that Kirachi structure only be held not that strong. It's like about 4 boxes there that are holding it. It's all made out of brick. So if someone wants to chop it, they can.
I mean, we've seen the pattern so far in endgames. no one should be staying on their first base from the 5th zone. They always launch off. They go all the way to where the zone's moving. I think Kiriachi's learned that by now. So unless they want to stay there and lose height, we will see in just a little bit.
Here we go. Here's about to get the first moving, and it goes back up north.
Up north, and Hen, Janice Chappiks. Looks like Hen might take a lot of damage, maybe be knocked, picked back up. But Splash is really putting on the pressure.
Now everybody's got to move out here, and all those people that have that advantage or high ground are going to have to rotate out here in about 10 seconds. The Storm is about to push everyone out of this area completely. Nebs, Pink, and Stompy now have 3 eliminations, so even though if they go down, they're about to cross into the placement threshold, and it could be one of those matches that you need if you're holding on to first place. Just don't go down at this point here. Try to get to the top 10, and this will be definitely a W of a game. One of those moral victories here as it go for the pad.
Kiriachi all the way on height. Nebs flies right by. This is the perspective of your first place team holding onto the lead. Still, long game to be played. Kiriachi moving all the way across. They've given up that base completely. Actually, they've expanded it and connected it. Shadow's going all the way towards the top, and Jetta actually flies by. Joe is in control at the cost of Benji Fishy's shield. Kiriachi has to give things up. I mean, it's no different than what we've been seeing before, but they actually go all the way to second height, not battling with Hen. Things are getting crazy, kind of claustrophobic for every single team. Not enough builds either. This high ground is just extended the whole way through. They're still fighting for it. Kiriachi does not want to let down.
There's not a lot of air up here. It's getting thin because there's so many trios up here taking up all the oxygen. And Joe, Benji, and Shadow here are breathing the finest Pierce air at the moment. But look at Queasy, Trillix, and Jerky getting in position.
That is a very sneaky play, and they go for the launch pad too. Nebs, Pink, Stompy, so smart. They're letting all these trios fight. Have at it. Go for height. We'll play the placement. We'll wait for the game to come to us.
There it is, Jerky. There you talk about the position, but Kiriachi responds. And Stormy right to Kiriachi, who have been waiting and holding on to height, send beams down Queasy way and push him off the pedestal that is this height right now. Kiriachi, Toos, and Stormy right here with some great games. 3 eliminations. Look at this high pad there. Trulix, oh my goodness. We take to the skies, and now we go back to height again. But Trulix is still up there. He's getting beamed. Can he find his connections? No, he doesn't. But someone else is coming up. Here it is. Jerky's coming back again.
This pinch is absolutely astronomical in the skies. It's Trulix with a distraction. Kiriachi finally goes down. Queasy was not done. He kept track of his teammates. Now it's a 2v2. Too Stormy right. Too slow on HP. No shields. Drop down below. Stormy alone all the way next to the clouds. Can he survive? He's going to be taken down a little bit. Looks like Jerky also goes. Benji's in his box. Benji deleted. Tack shots. They also not enough to actually keep Toos alive. Trulix and Queasy will have it, but it's only 2 players to control high ground.
It looks like Shadow's going to have to go solo. Hen, who's been a solo for a very long time, is still on his feet. And Alex Vino getting some eliminations in the feed. Hottie, Elocrest, and Tripper, who had a great day 1, could take height, and they are looking for it right now with the chop right there against Trulix. Deceptos here on the other side.
The 5th height retake. We're watching this game.
There it is.
And Tripper, Elocrest, and Hottie get it for free. And no way gets bopped by Savage on low ground. He has his home too. So he has the entire control of the low ground hemisphere. Shadow's trying to work it too. There's a little bit of a split from Shadow and his teammates. It's Savage as a solo in Weeping Woods. We've seen this before, but not this bad. 34 HP. He might not have enough to tank and deal the damage.
He might have enough there with the chug cannon just to do a little bit more. All he has to do is just continue to keep on ticking, keep on rocking, and hold out that wall. Going down to 1 build left here. Savage coming into this fight. He's doing so well. 7th place, slowly sliding out of the top 5 here. But this could be the moment here. Tayson gets eliminated by Splash and Moaka, who've been a nuisance all this day. Savage here is on the low ground. Pump out. No builds. Looking for those E-limbs. Doing his best, but no, gets beamed from high. But Reason is still on this fight at the very end of the day, but it is Hottie, Tripper, and Elo Crash with the 6 eliminations and the victory royale. Man, hey, we remember we were seeing this trio come to form last season, and now what a great time to get a victory royale. It looks like everybody from that northeast side of the map is racking up VRs.
Yeah, 4th place overall rolls in on a 5th height retake that happened in that game.
you covered.
it.